And welcome to another edition of the Living Large Theater Podcast. I am Billy Santiago, along with my good friend of 38 years, Gary Rodriguez, our super producer, Noe Ayala. We're available on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Prime, and also now on YouTube. Just hashtag Living Large Theater Podcast. Rate our podcast, share with a friend, leave us a comment, and more importantly, hit that subscribe button.
Boy, have we got a show for you today, especially if you live in South Texas, the Rio Grande Valley. We have a great guest. This is the Living Large Theater Podcast. Admission is free. All you need is a sense of humor and a thirst for entertainment. This is the fastest growing podcast in America, and we are now in season 8, and we have only you to thank. Thank you for tuning in with us.
Long
We're
time.
on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all the major podcast platforms. Our sponsors, White Sands Marina Inn and Suites in Port Isabel, Ward Thomas and Majestic Studios here in McAllen, Vantage Media, Trapped RGV, and Fred Rodriguez, the Texas Sportsman.
Gotta have it.
Our guest today is running for state representative, District 41, which covers the McAllen and South Texas area. He's been a great friend of mine for many years, and we want to help him get over the hump. Right now, he is in a runoff with a good gentleman, somebody I know, but in my estimation, I believe our guest should go to Austin and represent South Texas. Please welcome former prosecutor Sergio Sanchez. Sergio, thank you for stepping into the Living Large Theater.
Gary, Billy, thank you for having me. Thank
Absolutely,
you,
man. I'm telling you what, you're probably the only guy better looking than Billy Santiago.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
No, man, you wear it well, brother.
That's some good company.
brother,
Life's been
looking
good.
That's some good company.
You know, you walked in, I thought you were Jamie Lee Gonzalez.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we get that all the time. Poor guy.
That is awesome. Yeah. Hey, Sergio, tell us a little bit about yourself. I want our listeners to understand the caliber of person you are, the success you've had, and what you can do for us in Austin, Texas, as a member of the state representatives.
It's an honor to be here, gentlemen. Thank you. What incredible studio, and it's impressive what you guys have put together, and this show is growing in popularity, so I'm honored that you've asked me to be here, Gary. I appreciate it.
I have to thank Noe Ayala. He told me he ran into you, and he said, hey, man, I talked to Sergio, and he says he'd like to come on. So, Noe, thank you very much. Appreciate that very, very much.
Yeah. No, let's do it. Gary, I'm new to politics. I've my whole career as a prosecutor and at the state courthouse, I've just kind of kept to myself. Over the years, I developed I would say a good reputation in the district courts. I had a really, really good record as a prosecutor. I put some really bad people away.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A shout of applause there. There you go. Thank you, man.
Yeah. And so I say that because I go into situations and as long as sincerity and justice are on your side, it's easy to win.
Yeah.
It's easy to win, and it's easy to convince people. And so I don't take arrogance in that posture, but an air of confidence as I've jumped into this race. I think I've got the skill set to represent the area, and really it's just been very, in my opinion, lackluster these last 15 years or so at the state. What could the community point to that our existing state representative, Bobby Guerra, has delivered for the area?
What would he say?
Little to nothing.
Yeah.
I on his farewell speech, it was a wonderful monument that he was involved in the Tejano Monument that's on the grounds of the Capitol. I think it passed unanimously.
Yeah.
So it was not heavy lifting.
Yeah.
But as far as infrastructure, roads, and economic benefits and jobs and things regarding the school. Okay, it was incredible when we got the medical school down here. That was incredible. But that came from the governor himself. And so what has he delivered? And so I just thought the area needed more of a fighter. And I've lived in other parts of the state, incredible parts, Katy, Houston, lived all over. And why can't McAllen, Edinburgh, Mission, and Pharr live like that? Have those bridges and those highways that are really just the lifeblood of our economy. Why are we always lacking? Why are we always one or two step behind? And I just think you need a fighter. And you can't make the pie bigger as far as tax dollars go You got to elbow your way and carve out a larger slice. I've got a skill set to do it, and I've taken an intensity, I think, to this race, just to kind of exhibit. Yeah, I'm going to go up there, politically speaking, to kick some teeth in, and I think the area, McAllen doesn't have to be viewed as the back door of the state. In my opinion, we're the front door of the nation, and you kind of need a champion at the State House.
Absolutely.
And just to develop relationships with the governor, have a seat at the table, and, finally this area to have a conservative at the seat at the table, I believe will yield positive results for the area.
Since I've known you, I've always thought of you as a quiet, classy guy, which you are. But I've never seen that side of you that I've seen in some of your candidate forums where you're willing to swing a bat at the knees to make sure that people understand Sergio Sanchez is a fighter.
Yeah, well, for sure. And again, I think that's what the area is calling for. It's who I am. That's my persona in the courtroom. It's who I am. That's the way I've coached and all the kids coming up. I did deliver a level of intensity on really everything I do. But like I said, when you've got justice and truth on your side and sincerity, well, it's easy to fight, and it's easy to win those situations, whatever you're talking about. And yeah, we go way back, including in sports, Gary. But there's a lot of connection.
No, wait a minute. So you guys coached together or against each other?
Sons were involved on some teams growing up. My oldest son
and Tiger.
Yeah. There we go.
So
wow.
now, you're not a politician, and you've been at this. You're extremely aggressive, I think, but with full respect to all the other candidates. But since you've been out on the campaign trail, what are some issues that your would-be constituents have brought up to you that they want a Sergio Sanchez to address?
It's a mandate. I mean, this is a landslide of an issue: taxes, overspending, and
property
runaway
taxes,
spending.
really, right?
Yeah. And it's just it punches everyone in the mouth. I use my mom as an example. Senior, retired from Houston, moved down to McAllen. Yeah, she's getting hammered, and she's on fixed income. That's one example. Also, there's a lot of parents out there that are struggling. There's a lot of people where the community is 90-something% lower and middle income. And I'm for example, what's going on today and this week on this issue of the school bond, and it's happening in Sherryland as well. $250 million getting thrown around over there. $335 million getting thrown around here in McAllen.
Where do you stand on that?
I'm against it. I'm against it. Yeah, and
I am too.
And not necessarily against bonds in principle. It's just that they've put a blank check in front of these architects and engineers and contractor guys, and the bankers are the real winners. I just don't have faith in the level of scrutiny that dollar amount should have received. And with respect to the superintendent, I think he's failed on the communication part, on educating the community, Sherryland and McAllen, on educating us. Okay, this is what we've done. This is what we did with the old bond, and we did all these wonderful things. And then this is what we're going to do on the new bond. And then this is how I've hammered down these contracts to come up with this number of 300. That hasn't happened. You don't see that.
So once a contractor or an architect or those entities involved with executing those bonds, once they know what the bond limit is, they pretty much go for that limit. They never come in and say, well, y'all passed a $350 million bond, but we only need 175. They max it out.
For sure.
Isn't there bidding too? I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but isn't there bidding too to different architects and so forth?
Yeah, there should be. There should be, but there's a lot of no bid contracts that go out and kind of these maybe continuation type of agreements that they've done work with the district in the past. That shouldn't be an ongoing relationship. You got to start again.
Yeah.
And convince us again.
Yeah. And you don't have to max it out.
No. And by the way, that's happened. It's funny you say that. And it happened here. And what, my understanding of the way they've generated this number, $335 million, there's two things. One is this line that they're saying that the tax rate will stay the same, right? This is their number one sales pitch. The tax rate will stay the same because we're paying an existing bond, right? So it's elevated. And we're about to finish that thing off from 2005, the old bond. And what they did was they calculated what is the maximum number we could get based on this tax rate. it came out to $335 million. So,
I got
yeah,
you.
essentially to max it out.
They're going to max it out.
Yeah, max it out, like what you're saying. So that's like saying to the credit card, yeah, let's max this thing out. And that's no way to go through.
Who down here would be under you as a constituent? You've mentioned McAllen, Far, Edinburgh. Who else? What's in the district?
So it runs a big part of Edinburgh. It goes north from Ware Road. It goes north to Monte Cristo. It comes back over to McCall. So this is like the Tres Lagos region as you're going north. Tres Lagos is actually just to the outside of it, but I'm giving you an idea of what we're talking about. So it's east of there. It works its way back to University Drive, and everything to the south of 107 to the courthouse. Then it meanders its way through Jackson, South Far, down near the military highway.
Okay.
And really everything in McAllen other than the airport and the mall. So just about 99% of McAllen. Mission going west to past Sherry, it goes to Stewart Road. So it's big chunks of Edinburgh, Far, and Mission, and almost all of McAllen. So really the heart of Hidalgo County.
What did you do to get here? Because you're in the runoff, and what did Sergio Sanchez do to get to this position where you actually have a chance to bite the apple?
Yeah, so I don't know 2,830 people. I was blessed to receive those votes. I was the top vote getter at the beginning of March when on our primary election day. I don't have 2,830 friends. The message got out. These are a lot of strangers, family members of strangers, neighbors of strangers. As you know, social media is key, and I do my videos, and I think my sincerity vibes out, and it's permeating.
Yeah.
Gary, it is, and
Wow, I see it.
I mean, I appreciate it. You know, it's taken a lot of years for you and I to get to know each other, but I have this very limited window of a campaign to try to get people to know me.
Well, you came from nowhere politically.
Well, I'm trained to this, you know. So Billy, really in trial, you know, kind of the negatives is like, hey, he's using some courtroom theatrics, and I don't take that as an insult, because in trial, in front of a jury, I have a limited amount of time to convince you and to earn your respect and to offer my credibility, and it's got to be with sincerity. And at the end of it, I'm going to ask for a vote. And that's exactly what this campaign is. I have a limited amount of time. It's a primary window.
So you've executed pretty much as a trial.
It is. And the key is sincerity. And that's the key to it all. And you can't be fake about anything. And they're going to see right through you. In politics, no different than in front of a jury.
I think you're winning.
Yes, sir.
I noticed on your campaign signs as I was driving in, you say former prosecutor. I mean, that's in bold print right there. What was the strategy behind that?
Well, I'm proud of my years as a prosecutor, and I think the community, I respect the men and women of the Hidalgo County District Attorney's Office, and it's something I take a lot of pride in. Those 6 years that I was there, I kicked ass as a prosecutor. I lost one jury trial, and I'm still upset about it.
Wow! Congratulations.
I did well. I did really well, and I was pretty tough, and it made me a better attorney. And I just think maybe I take a lot of pride in what
Do you think
I
it's
offer.
because you talk about the fight, taking the fight to Austin to get things done for District 41?
For sure. And it's to vibe that out too. You know that we're going to prosecute on behalf, and you fight for, and you advocate for a position, and you know, we're back to sincerity and justice. But yeah, to fight for the area, and really just to prosecute a case, to lead the area. You do need to prosecute the matter in Austin. And yeah, I'm gonna have to flip some tables upside down, no doubt, because right now we've just had a whole lot of nothing. Texas Monthly puts out, you know, the piece of furniture award goes to so and so. And yeah, I'm not gonna say it's Bobby Guerra, but if he wasn't first, he was second, in my opinion.
Hey, Sergio, how important are endorsements for you, and have you picked any up along the way?
I have. You know, I'm not to the area of obnoxious like others in this field that have had on the Democrat side. And let me just be clear: I'm running as a conservative. I'm a Republican for House District 41, and I'm in a runoff. But on the Democrat side, there's a gentleman, Sebi Haddad, he's portrayed dozens of endorsements from every Democrat in the entire 956. And I mentioned at a forum not too long ago, hey, this announcement that you've put out is something that nobody has been waiting to receive. Mm-hmm. Nobody cares what elected officials in Weslaco have to say about this race. Nobody cares what others outside of the area have to say. That's just not an issue. And it didn't vibe out. I have received some. I've been very choosy on it, Gary. The Sheriff's Department endorsed me.
Amen.
And so the men and women of law enforcement that I worked alongside with when I was a prosecutor, I took a lot of pride in that.
Yeah.
I did. And
well, you have, as a prosecutor, you have your fingers on the pulse of those guys and women of the Sheriff's Department, because I've been in the courthouse where they're shuffling 8 to 10 prisoners into court or out of court or somewhere. So that helped you generate some sort of a relationship with the Sheriff's Department.
Sure. Yeah, and these guys that are at the courthouse, they've every single one, and ladies, every single one, they've been on the street. And these guys are literally on the street as we speak, protecting us. Yeah. Yeah, and so for those men and women to put their support behind me, and they're out on the colonias and they're out on the farm to market roads in the boonies of the county. It's a big county.
Oh God. Can you believe, I do the horse races at Las Palmas, and it's all sheriff's deputies out there.
Yeah.
And after the races, I go downstairs and I talk with these guys, Sergeant Garcia and some of the other ones, and I always ask them, you ever been in a fight? Yeah, been in a fight. You ever been out on, Monte Cristo at night and nobody's around but you and the people you pulled over? Oh, yeah. And I say, aren't you scared? And these guys, to a person, say, I'm trained to deal with it, so I'm not scared. And I always tell them, thank you for what you do for keeping us safe. Because, like you just said, they're out there in the boonies.
Yep, they are. Yeah, and, of course, the city officers as well. But out in those, just way out in the dark spaces, and it's not just cities. This is a big county. Yep. And they cover the vast majority of square footage of the county.
Oh, they do. And it is a big county.
Short-staffed it too, huh?
They are. They're short by about 100 deputies.
Wow. Hey, will you bear with me while I do a little business here? But I do want to come back. And when we do come back, I'm going to ask you if you would draw some distinctions between yourself and the other candidate who you're in the primary, the runoff against.
For sure.
First of all, our guest, Sergio Sanchez, former prosecutor running for House of Representatives, District 41. But I also have to tell you, William Beckman coming to Las Palmas Race Park Friday, June 19th. Get your tickets now.
We've seen that guy, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Gary
we sure did. It's in San Marcos.
Yeah.
Gary got tickets for us. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was an adventure.
Oh, yes, it was.
Hey, golly, man. And when you come to South Padre Island for spring break, save some money and make White Sands Marina Inn and Suites your hotel headquarters. White Sands Marina Inn and Suites in Port Isabel is Texas' best value on the coast. It's veteran-owned by Arnold and Corina Flores. White Sands offers a beautiful hotel, a full-service restaurant, and an awesome bar. In addition, White Sands is on the water and gives you access to the best Coast Guard certified boat captains in South Texas. Make your reservations now at wsinandsuites.com. Hats off to the Texas sportsman, Fred Rodriguez, recognized by the Texas Senate as the premier hunting and fishing guide in South Texas. The Texas sportsman, gotta have it. Vantage Media, trusted by over 100 businesses and service providers, including Hacienda Ford, D-Tronics, and attorney Leah Wise. Vantage Media offers you website design, social media expertise, and successful advertising campaigns to put you front and center on TV, radio, and the World Wide Web. VantageMedia.com. Trapped RGV escape rooms. Can you work with your friends and family to solve the puzzle? I think you can. TrappedRGV.com for a great night out for families, couples, or husbands and wife. Ward Thomas and Majestic Studios. If you're ready to record your next hit record, why not do it here at Majestic Studios, 2037 Orchid Avenue in McAllen. Thank you, Ward Thomas, for your continued support of the Living Large Theater podcast. And Ward's been one of our greatest benefactors.
Yes, thank you, Ward.
Even our guest, Sergio Sanchez, when he walked in, he was like, wow,
Pretty impressive here, huh?
Nice
Yes.
digs, nice digs.
For sure.
Sergio,
So-
did you ever get that? Excuse me, Gary. I didn't mean
ahead.
to interrupt you, but I did.
But you, hey, that's our platform.
Exactly. I was going to tell you, did you ever get that debate from Gary?
Hasn't happened.
It hasn't happened.
We did something on Valley Politics.
Why
on
has he
Channel
shut
4.
down from political forums?
Not sure.
I was waiting for that. I saw your
was-
video
who was
on
that? Who was
social
that?
media. Gary.
Gary Groves. Look, hey, let's lay the groundwork here. So, Sergio is running for House of Representatives, and he's running. There was several others in the race, but it comes down to a runoff between Sergio Sanchez and Gary Groves. Now, Gary, for some reason, has decided not to do candidate forums anymore.
Yep. I hope he changes his mind. We did something on Channel 4. It was basically a Zoom kind of thing. So that was a few minutes long, and I'm thankful that he did that. But as far as debates go or forum or not going to play word games, just sitting across sharing ideas, it's just not happening.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because the organizations that should be putting them on
Mm-hmm.
should be reaching out, and it shouldn't be contingent on, okay, well they both need to say yes for us to go forward. It shouldn't be contingent.
That's
on
not
that.
how it works.
And
It shouldn't be that way.
and that both ways. So whoever shows up deserves even the visual effect of an empty chair
Yes.
across the debate stage.
Yeah, I agree.
And I would demand just the exact same amount of time that I would have gotten had he been there. But I deserve my time.
Yeah.
That should go for any candidate going forward.
So what happened? They canceled or what?
Well, I've been asking. We're still pushing for him.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm hopeful. Let me just say doubtful.
Yeah.
And I think more is better. And these are consequential times.
It's
Garrett.
always better, man. I mean,
Yeah,
that's just human nature. The more I know about Sergio Sanchez, or on the other hand, Gary Groves,
Yeah.
the more it's going to help me decide who I'm going to pull that lever for when I'm in the voting booth. So,
An
what are some
informed-
distinctions?
An informed
absolutely.
electorate. We deserve it.
What are some distinctions? I am drinking Budweiser right now.
Fair enough.
What are
Settle
are
down,
some
Sparky. Settle
what are-
down.
what are some distinctions between you and Gary Groves?
Can I just hit real quick on the other endorsements?
This
I've been
is your
real
show,
choosy.
man. This is
Oh,
your
man,
show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that the Hidalgo County Young Republicans have endorsed me. I'm thankful that the College Republicans of Texas have endorsed me. I'm thankful that the Rio Grande Valley men, conservative men, have endorsed me. These are things that are important to me, including it's an informal group, but the Wives of Border Patrol as well.
Wow.
And
Those are heavy hitters, man. They carry a lot of weight in
I
the
agree.
community. They're involved with not only their husbands in Border Patrol,
Sure.
but they're raising kids. Some of them are teachers. Some of them are nurses. So
Real estate.
hats off to you, dude.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't pretend to say that it's the union of the Border Patrol. I'm not here to pretend. I hope to try to earn that discussion
Yeah.
one day. But this is an informal group of ladies, but they have stepped forward, and I have proposed ideas that affect. I know we're getting to the State House, but there is a lot of crossover with where we're at in the world, and we're 8 miles from the border, and the men and women of all of our federal agents deserve state protections as well. I've spoken to the governor of these ideas, and he's all for it. So
You've spoken to the governor.
quite a few times.
Awesome.
Gary.
Awesome, man.
I mean,
no.
he is a big proponent of making sure our border security stays strong.
Yes, sir.
And personal responsibility. And can I go out on a limb here? I don't speak for Billy, and I don't speak for Noe, but right now I'm going to speak for the Living Large Theater podcast. So I am speaking for Billy. I am speaking for Noe. We are hereby
No
endorsing
more beer for you.
take
man.
it.
Sergio Sanchez
Take it, man.
in the runoff. When is the runoff? May 18th.
18th through the 22nd, and Election Day on the 26th.
Okay. Awesome, man.
Gary, I appreciate it, man. That means a lot, and I had no idea showing up today that you were going to say that.
Absolutely.
But
Proud to endorse Sergio Sanchez for House of Representatives, District 41.
yes, sir. Thank you, gentlemen.
What is your relationship with some of the people that are already in Austin? Chuy Hinojosa, we've had him on our show, and he presented Fred Rodriguez, a Texas sportsman, with a beautiful Texas Senate proclamation claiming him to be the #1 hunting and fishing guide in South Texas. But who are some of the other elected officials that you've already established a relationship with?
I know Senator Chewy knows well, and over the years at the courthouse, and we all know the Stetson that he wears, and he's just such a striking figure.
Did you know he has a card in there in the Stetson? It says, "If you find this hat, you know it's not yours."
Wow.
Called Chewy Hinojosa. It's got the number. I've seen it. It's crazy.
Well, and what stands out to me is any man that fought in the jungles of Vietnam.
Hey,
he could
man.
handle anything at the Capitol.
Yep.
So
Yeah, U.S. Marine.
yeah, so and he vibes that out. He's one of these men where he doesn't have to say it. You can just feel it.
Yeah.
So kudos to him for that. I know we're different parties, but let me say this too. What I know of state senators, they must be pragmatic.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's dealt with Republican governors for the majority of his career.
Yeah, he had
And
to.
so he has to be a pragmatist, and I think he does well. I think he's going to be stepping down soon, and it's going to open up a seat. But yeah, I would say he's at.
Well, if you run for that seat, we'll endorse you too, man.
Right, man. Yeah, one step at a time, man. I do have my eyes on the State House, and really, you can either complain about the law or you can change the law. And so that's one of the main reasons I jumped into this. People complain, and
You got
they
to do
complain.
something about it.
Yeah, well, what else can you do, man? And you got to go and you got to shake it up, and there are changes, and I think for the better. And this is the point of getting to the State House. I'm in the business of law. I've studied law. I've written law by way of briefs, and I have every intention of casting my vote and writing law at the State House. And I've already drafted quite a few proposals. So I'm already doing it. I'm already doing it. And I need to exhibit that skill set.
Who are your political mentors? Is there anybody that you've modeled yourself after, or somebody that you've aspired to sort of follow in their footsteps?
Going way back, anyone remember Jim Bates? It was very close to the
Yeah,
family.
well, his nickname was Diamond Jim Bates.
I love it.
Did you know him?
I did well. I
Oh,
did well.
man. May he rest in peace. man.
Scotchy, his beautiful
Yeah, I
wife,
knew
and
Scotchy, yes.
Madrina, and she's best friends with my mom. And
What made him so effective? Because he was a state representative, right?
Yes, yeah.
And a great attorney.
Yep.
I mean, he was much sought after. And if you were able to hire Jim Bates, you were lucky.
For sure. I mean, I would just say his understanding of the community that he lived in. Okay, there was that. I think he was fluent in Spanish. He had a military background as well. He was in the Army, and as the Army was transitioning into flight before the Air Force, he was one of these that flew. And I think the last thing he did in the Army was, or the Air Corps that he was in.
Yeah, at one time it was the Army Air Corps.
He flew underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. And that was it for his career. But
Yeah.
what a way to go, man.
Yeah, man.
What a way to go.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pushing the boundaries, man.
What a way to go, man. So, but he did, as I was coming up, he had plans for me. I'll just take this as a compliment.
Oh, wow.
That he wanted me to get to West Point, and he just said, "I'll find a way to get you to the State House one day."
Yeah.
He told me that as a little kid.
Yeah. Did you go to West Point?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. I wasn't able to do that. That was back at the time where they were able to sign people in, and
Yeah.
but obviously he met his fate the
Yes.
way that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So God had a different path for me.
Wow. So you were a young man still when he met his fate.
Yeah. I think I was in junior high.
Wow. And he took a liking to you.
Yeah, well, only because of Scotchy, his beautiful wife, and the best friend of my mom, and I grew up with Mr. Bates. Yeah, so I not necessarily mentor because I didn't really follow the politics of the time.
Yeah.
I know Democrats were different. I'll share this. The Democrats back then, where would you put them in today's political ideology?
Republicans?
There's no other way to say it.
What happened to the Can we get there? Can we go there?
Yeah.
What happened to the Democrat Party?
I don't know. And for example, because they say, you're conservative or you're MAGA, and, they say it in such a negative way.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I think I'm conservative for sure the way my grandparents were. And I would expect the way your grandparents were. As a culture, Gary, we're culturally conservative.
The Democrat Party back then was much more conservative, probably more conservative than the Republicans are right now. But the change has been totally a 180 to the extent that they're radical, they're anti-American, they're cheering for Iran in this war that we're having. Any thoughts on President Trump? I mean,
I support so much of what he does. I follow him from the cabinet that he's assembled, and starting with I think a rock star, Secretary of State Rubio, Secretary Bessent at Treasury is turning our economy around. I'm a big fan of President Trump. I don't agree 100% with what he does. But
he's a disruptor.
He is,
and that's why you're going to Austin to be a disruptor.
One or two tiny compliments that I've received is the Republican Party of Hidalgo County and District 41 needed a level of disruption. So I didn't come up as part of the system here and part of the names that have been around for generations. I did not do that.
Yeah.
But slight disruption. If I have a 1% similarity to President Trump, I'll take it. I'll take the compliment. I don't pretend to be at that level for sure, but I've been told we needed a slight disruption here.
You got to start somewhere, dude.
I'll take it.
You got to start somewhere.
I don't think you told us where do you come from? Where were you born? I
was born in Edinburgh, the old Edinburgh Hospital. It's now torn down, and
they're on Freddie, right?
Yeah, I was right across from the Ebony Golf Course, and so that was born there. But my first day. You know, my family's from Willacy County, so we drove out to La Sada that day. So my first, we're from 1828. My family's from Willacy County.
Wow.
So 2 years will be 200 years.
Yeah.
Of our connection.
Congratulations, dude.
Yeah, that's something to take pride in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the Sanchez name, are you connected to any famous Sanchez's that you know of?
So that's on Dad's side, and we're Starr County on Dad's side, La Grulla area, La Victoria, and they're ranchers coming up. On Mom's side, we're Salazar, Gutierrez, and Salinas family and Signs from Willacy County. We're farmers, so I come from farmers and ranchers, man, and that's I think the lifeblood of the valley. And I don't pretend to do that kind of stuff. They all did all of those things, so I could get to a point, and so I'm standing on big shoulders.
Yeah,
and so I'll always know that.
Let me give you a chance right now, Sergio, as we kind of start to regretfully wind this down. Nobody's they're telling me, hey, we got to wrap it up, but let me give you a chance to connect in Spanish with some of our constituents here in the area who may not have a total grasp on English or prefer Spanish. ¿Qué nos puede decir?
Obvio, mi español no es a level de ustedes, pero sí puedo comunicar. Parte de mi trabajo es a comunicar con familias en corte de cosas tan grandes como prisión, como a salir bajo de fianza. Y en mis años en los cortes sí he aprendido a comunicar, pero quiero decir de esto de política, voy a apoyar por ustedes, igual como todos aquí en esta área, FAR, Mission, Edinburgh, McAllen, y tengo algo adentro de mí a pelear, y tengo 27 años, hago esto en la corte, lo quiero hacer en Austin, sí he comunicado con el Governor Abbott, y yo pienso que él me está esperando allá para negociar y pasar leyes que nos ayuda aquí en esta parte del estado que, en my opinion, es número 1 en Texas, y esta área necesita alguien fuerte a pelear y negociar por nosotros aquí.
That's beautiful. That's much better than I could have ever said it. Our guest today has been Sergio Sanchez. Before we sign off, let me do another recognition of our great sponsors and people that back us up. White Sands Marina Inn and Suites in Port Isabel. Make your reservations right now at WS Inn and Suites. Ward Thomas and Majestic Studios. If you have a hit record in your mind, why not do it here at Majestic Studios, 2037 Orchid in McAllen. Vantage Media, they're going to put you front and center and make you a lot of money. VantageMedia.com. Trapped RGV. Can you get out of one of their escape rooms? I think you can. Date night, family fun, or just friends or knuckleheads. TrappedRGV.com. Fred Rodriguez, the Texas Sportsman. What did we say, Billy?
Gotta
have it. That's right. Sergio, thank you so much.
Man,
Thank you,
Gary,
sir.
thank
Good
you.
luck, buddy.
One more chance. Give me an outgoing statement in English.
Let me say this.
Yes,
Let
sir.
me say this. So property taxes, let's end where we began. And we have a plan to cut them in half. And that's for the state of Texas through our surplus budget. We have an incredible economy in Texas. We carry a surplus budget. That's going to cover the maintenance and operation part of everyone's school taxes, which is essentially going to cut the gross property tax in half. On average, on a house with a valuation of $250,000, that's a savings of $200 a month, $200 a month. I have every intention of filing that on day one. The governor's indicated he's going to sign it into law. Nobody else in the field has a plan. And I can promise you the governor's waiting to hear this.
I bet he is. How do we get in touch with Sergio Sanchez if we want to make a donation to his campaign?
SergioForTexas.com is my platform. And I'm in the area of $20 and $50 donations. I'm self-funding my campaign, and I've had small, very meaningful. These are people and families that are donating small. The others in the field are in the world of hundreds of thousands. They're in the world of corporate or out-of-area PAC money. That's not me. I've rejected it all, and I'm proud of it. And really, to this level of disruption, it's another indication. It's somebody new to the area. I'm beholden to nobody, and I'm going to get there to fight just for the – I'm no different than you, Gary. I'm going to fight for all of us.
Sergio Sanchez for Texas.com.
It's the Living Large Theater podcast. Reach out to us at livinglargetheater@gmail.com. We're available on these following platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Prime, and now on the YouTube channel, hashtag Living Large Theater podcast. If you become a sponsor of this fine program, reach out to us at 956-451-1633. Rate our podcast. Give it a 5 rating because it was excelente today. Share it with a friend. Leave a comment. More importantly, hit that subscribe button. Till the next episode, you keep living large because you know we're living large.